Hi there, it's Amanda, Creative Gardener. Welcome to the garden. So this week I said I would show you some more plants that have just appeared. I'm still in the process of identifying them, but they actually look quite nice. So we're going to have a little tour of some of the plants, and maybe if you know what they are, you can put a comment below and tell me what you think they are. But come on, let's go. Okay, so here we are. We've got two in this particular, well, three actually. There's another one I wanted to show you. But I know what this one is, and it's grown really lovely, but I didn't plant it here. And I wouldn't have planted it here because it's right or near the entrance of the well. I mean, stand in front of the well. So this particular one is black sage, and compared to my other leaves, the other leaves are about this small. But look at the size of that one. So I normally use these, I make tea with it, I make smudge sticks with it, and I just I burn them in the studio, and they're really nice. It kind of purifies the air, and I'm hoping also has an impact on the mosquitoes. It's quite breezy here. This particular one again is not one that I planted. It may be whitewood, which is a tree, but I'm not sure, and it might look similar to another one I'm going to show you, but the leaves are slightly different. So I'm thinking that this particular one is whitewood. The other one I wanted to show you, I mean, all of these have grown up here. I didn't plant them. What happened is when we first moved in, the whole garden was filled with what these are called river tamarind, and they produce a really nice kind of flower, actually. So this is what it first looks like, and then let's come over here. So again, I never planted these, and then this is how they turn out. And then once this has gone all brown, it produces seed pods, and this is down here are some old seed pods here, and you can see they produce about 20 seeds in each pod. And actually I'll show you another place where it's growing, and you'll get a better view, and then we'll come back here. Let me show you this other place that they're growing. Okay, this is them. These are two, so these two trees here I didn't plant either. I dashed the seeds on the other side of what is my broadleaf thyme hedge. But yeah, so they produce the seeds there, they turn brown, and then they normally split open. Oh, that's another. Didn't realise they were growing so low. But I've left them on the other side because I want to kind of, if I can grow some more, and then it stops Cole, because at the moment he can jump over here, and he's down there next door with their dogs running up and down. So that is the river tamarind, and yeah, the seeds, they just burst open and they disperse. So you can even see some down here. See, so they've already split. And if what I have to do is make sure that when I come back, I'll come back every now and again to see if they've started to germinate, and then just lift them out, because I don't actually want them growing here. So that's another one of the plants that have grown on its own without me planting it. But this actually, as I say, I'm fine with them, and what I will do, I'll have to cut them back, because again, as I say, you know, once these start splitting, like going dark and then splitting, they'll just be coming all the way down here. The other thing I'm growing is rocks. It would seem, wouldn't it? Okay, let's go back to the other space. Okay, so this, what you can see growing up here, is called ivy gourd, and I'm looking to see if any of them have, if you can see any. Okay, here's one down. Oh, couple. Okay, so these are actually edible. Yeah, like this. I've tried it like this, and it tasted a bit bitter. I haven't yet tried it. It goes, this whole thing then goes red. and it goes really soft. So I haven't actually tried it like that, but when I looked online, they eat them, I think in India, and they use them with curries. And let's see, well, it hasn't got a door, so I've let this grow all the way up there so that you know, nobody falls in. Oops. Okay, so yeah, this thing produces quite a lot, and as I say, I've let it grow because I want to be able to find a good recipe for them, and then that's a abundance of food that we'll have. So that is ivy gourd, and what I'll do on my Patreon is the Patreon gardening site. Oh look, we've got quite a few here. I wanted to see if I could see any seeds. Oh, that one's fallen. So that one's going to sprout now. But yeah, it looks like a cucumber inside. So there's lots of seeds. When it goes red as well, you know, it's like a red flesh inside. And it does have a nice flower to it as well. And that's another reason why it's quite breezy here. Just saw it hasn't. This one hasn't opened, but it has a white flower to it, and it opens up and it's quite pretty. I don't think it's scented, but that's another one. And I want to show you a nice looking tree that I've got as well. So this is another one that I have, and I'm not quite sure what it is, but it's growing. I think it probably is going to grow into a tree. I'm not sure whether it does have whether it's fruity whether it has any fruits, so I'm just going to keep an eye on it. I'm not going to let it get too tall, probably about 7-8 feet, and see what happens. But it's got a kind of a grey, not a grey colour, it's not grey, it's kind of like the leaves are not shiny when you look at them. So compared to, that's how I know the other little one was whitewood, which is the same as this one. I mean, these I've planted, but this is whitewood, and this is how the other one is going to grow. And it produces flowers, and then it produces these. You see, all of these were flowered. It was flowering really profusely. You know, we had quite a good lot of rain, and then it flowered, and then now we've got, these are filled with seeds, and they disperse really easily. They're kind of like got paper like wings, and then you've got the seed in the middle, and then they just fly off in the wind. Again, another black sage. It just started growing here, so I guess I've got the birds to thank for that. Okay, so let's go at the back now. Black sage seems to be quite an easy one to grow. And yeah, the seeds, there we go, let me show you the seeds. This is it's cool. It's my original. So you would have the little flowers there, yeah, and then these turn black and they just disperse, and then it has usually either one or two on each like flower head. There's one or two red looking seeds, so I don't know whether that is the true seed or it's green. I think, let me see if I can see one for you. As soon as I try and look, the wind starts up. But see, there's a green one there that then turns red, so I don't know whether that's a true seed and the rest of them are just, I don't know, and then the birds take it and carry it off. Okay, so let's go to the back now. Okay, look at this beauty. So this just started growing, and it's looking better now that we've had some rain, but I still haven't yet identified it. I've looked on some of those sites called like PlantNet, and there's another one that I look on, but I haven't yet been able to identify it. Somebody thought it was tamarind, but it's not tamarind because I've got 2 tamarind trees that are kind of growing. No, they're growing. But this is the healthiest I've seen it, and because what normally happens is something decides to eat the leaves, and then it looks kind of really sad. So one of the pests I've seen on here is the hornworm. So I've just got to keep an eye on it, and that's really making me think that maybe it's a fruiting tree because the hornworm likes it. I mean, the hornworm likes, I don't know, tomatoes, tomato plants and leaves. But anyway, so it's actually really flourished here. I'm just amazed. So again, I don't want it to get too big. As it's at the back of the garden, maybe I will allow it to grow a lot taller. And the other thing I'd like to maybe look at is the branches and see how they would be in a art project, because they've got quite an unusual kind of pattern to them. So I'm looking forward to seeing whether it flowers and whether there are any fruit. It'll be amazing if this is like a fruit tree, an edible fruit tree. I'll be so pleased. Yeah, but it seems to be, it's right next to, I'd planted a mango tree here because it wasn't here, it just appeared, and I just, it was a small plant, and I've got a moringa here as well. So yeah, I'm not going to let this particular moringa get very big, and what I might do is I'm not going to be able to remove it but cut it right back. I can replant some of the branches elsewhere, but I've got in the garden, I've got about 40 odd moringa trees, which now again with the rainy season they will be producing a lot more leaves. So the thing about this particular one is I don't want to move the mango tree because I don't know how far the roots go down, and if I can move it, maybe I'll move the mango tree just like a little bit further along. But that's the other tree that I'm really pleased that whether the birds brought them here, I don't know. And what I think you ought to do with your space is, if you can, to kind of just regularly look around the garden, especially if you're mowing the lawn and all of this, but just look around the garden, because there may be plants that are growing because of the birds have dropped the seeds there, or some sort of animal has eaten whatever and has deposited it, but it may be something that you really like. I mean, when I had my London garden, the birds gifted me a silver birch, and I love silver birch, and so I allowed that to grow. It was beautiful. I'd love to be able to grow that here, or weeping willow or wisteria. I love all those kind of highly scented, well, wisteria's highly scented. But yeah, that's it. So I just wanted to show you some of the plants that plants and trees that the birds gifted me with, and that has just come up on their own, and how when I've left them, this is a lovely spot. And then the other thing, what I could do is see if I took a cut in from the branch, whether I could move it anywhere else. But what I'm going to allow it to do is to really just establish itself first, see what happens, and see whether it flowers. And just what I normally do is just cut it back. I might cut it back here, but yeah, let it grow a bit more first, and then if I am cutting this branch, I can plant that and see whether it will take. But that's the garden for today. So those were the plants, and what I'm gonna do. Another thing is try and find out the names, and when I do, I'll let you know, and I'll be putting it up on my Patreon my Creative Gardener Patreon, so that you'll be able to see all the different stages, because it's nice when you can see, you know, from seed to seedling, then to small plant, and then to big plant. But there must be, this must be like the drooping of the fresh leaves must be an identifier in terms of finding out what it is. Okay, I'm going to leave it there. So I hope you have fun in your garden. I hope you find some surprises and some small plants that little plants growing that will be lovely treasures for you. So take care for now. Bye.